Good afternoon and welcome to Beyond the Headlines. I'm DJ Moises. Today is not just the last day of the National Women's Month, it also falls within Holy Week. And as we look at the world around us, its challenges, divisions, uncertainties, we are reminded that real change does not begin in headlines. It begins within. To help us navigate these conversations, we are joined by someone who has dedicated his life in guiding others in faith, reflection, and purpose. Please welcome Father Sam. So, Father Sam, welcome back to Beyond the Headlines.
DJ Ming, hapon.
Mayong hapon. So, sige, we'll start with the National Women's Month.
All
Kay
right.
karon naman gid ang last day. And I'll start with something that's personal to you.
Okay. Sure,
Who are
very
the
nice.
women in your life, Father, who also influenced you?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a very good question. I would say, first of all, my mom. It's a very simple answer, but at the same time, I can think of many, many stories, many experiences where she was very influential in my life, and even in the choice that I made to become a priest, my faith, everything. I learned so much from her. Yeah, I would say her first of all. I'm thinking also this is a bit spiritual, but my other mother, see Mama Mary, she's guided me so much and inspired me a lot as well. And it's true that as I look back on my life, I mean, in general, I would say that I've been very, very. I've felt so loved by women. We've. I mean, there's such a big part of our life, right? And like, I have 5 sisters also. I mean, so yes, I grew up with many young women, and I'm very grateful for that. Yeah. So
And given all the women who have graced and touched your life, and from your experience also with the many women that you continue to meet, what are their usual advices or even just advice which you really think men should listen more?
that's also a very good question. I think yeah, we're bad at listening, no? Yeah, it's very true, Diva. I think that often that's one thing that women can teach us how to do better. I mean, of course, we all have our different personalities, no? Mga laki, mga babae, lahi-lahi ta mga personality, and there's women who are very good at listening. There's women who are not very good at listening, you know. But I think in general, it's normal that we kind of relate women to that quality of like compassion, of listening, understanding. And I think it's a very kanang murag fundamental bitaw siya nga experience to both men and women, when we can feel listened to, when someone has compassion on us, whether they experience it from a woman or from a man as well, right? Because we can also have those qualities, of course. Yeah.
And then because they're, of course, kanang regardless of the setup or the status of a family, tanan tanagi mama.
Yes,
Ug
bitaw.
dagi papa.
Nature gid na siya.
Regardless.
Wala tayo choice.
So when it comes to kanang influences specific to mothers lang, what kind of influences that mothers have in terms of raising good men?
Good man. Wow, that's really beautiful. I think that one of the important roles, right? Because their mothers can have many beautiful, beautiful roles to play in the life of a child. But like for me, I would say that a woman, when she's watching or watching her young boy grow into a man, or raising a boy, is that she can in a very beautiful way kind of validate his masculinity, like in a different way from the father. Of course, the father has a very specific role in that, but I think a woman, like, when she lets her son kind of be himself sometimes, bisan sa pag mga bata bitaw nga mga bugay-bugay, mga kiat man sila, kanang sometimes being like, you know what, he's a boy, and that's okay, pud, right? Like that can be so affirming, that can be so important, I think, for a young boy. Like I can think of many experiences like that, right? Yeah, of course we need to discipline, we need to, but to be there to kind of affirm and to say like, okay, that's who you are, and ako lahi man kay babae, or ana, ako, you're different because you're a boy, but that's also very good, yeah, that we have that difference. Yeah. I think so.
And how about in raising daughters, no?
Raising daughters, yeah. Well, I'm not a daughter, so so didn't speak from experience, of course.
But from your observation,
From my observation, one thing that I really admire, I think, sa mga relationship bitaw, like when it's a good relationship, no, between a woman and a daughter, with her daughter, is that just it's such a special bond, bitaw. I mean, like, kanang I can think of my ako mga
Kikay-kikay,
sister,
no?
yeah, kanang mga shopping man sila, kanang makeup, and it's just there's something so beautiful about like a daughter who looks up to her mother, and who's like, that's the woman I want to be like, right? I mean, kind of the same with us with our fathers, right? It's a bit similar, but I think also there's a very special type of friendship that they can develop with one another when it's a good relationship, which sometimes doesn't happen, right? But we hope and pray that many women can experience that as well. It's like, a woman can invite a woman, especially their daughter, bitaw, like kind of bitaw nga you say like you're one of us, like you're a woman, that's good, hey, let's do woman stuff. It's a mother can tell her daughter that it's good and beautiful to be a woman. I think that's what's very powerful, but it's a relationship nila. Yeah.
And then, so we'll segue now in terms of the roles na of specific roles na of parenting. And among the things that connect me deeper into this conversation, because yesterday there was a National Women's Forum,
Cool.
and one of the speakers, hello Cleofe, she's
Cleofe.
the managing director of Mega World Resorts, no?
Wow. Okay.
And hotels, kanang the whole country.
Wow. Oh my
And then
gosh.
there's something that she
Go Cleofe.
yeah, there's something that she shared ba,
Yeah.
which is, I cannot remember exactly na the items, but it's love, no, love of self, love of country, love of the family, and love of God. She covered that actually
really
because she
beautiful.
put that at the center.
Okay.
And she highlighted that these are values that we learn starting from home.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of
so
course.
when she said that. So karon, I'll also throw in some values, and then let's see if kanang what's your take on this. And the value that I'll start with is submission.
Submission. Okay.
Because some people, they misinterpret this in one way or the other. So I will not jump
Ito.
ahead on what's the misinterpretation of submission.
I think we all know.
Yeah. Sige, but ikaw, sige, what's your take about submission?
Yeah, sure. Just to come back really quick about what you said, katong giingon ni Cleofe about love. Like, I love that. I mean, I love that, But it's like, I think that I'm convinced that the greatest thing we'll ever do in our life is love. I really think so. But so yeah, thank you so much, Cleofe. So about submission, no, I think that's a very interesting topic because, of course, especially sa Catholic teaching, right? Maybe that's what I can bring here as a priest. But there's a lot of people, I think, they misunderstand a little bit what we mean by submission, because that teaching is taken from, I'm not a biblical scholar here, but it's taken, I'm pretty sure, from the letters of St. Paul. Okay. And he's explaining that he says that women should submit to their husbands, right? And usually we just take that part and we're like, oh my gosh, that's not fair, blah, 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 right? But we forget to read the whole passage, which is very beautiful nga. Ingon siya, women submit to your husbands. And then husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Like, that's a really, really powerful phrase. Now, actually, it's part of the Catholic marriage rite. It's interesting, at the end of the marriage, of the end of the mass, when the priest is blessing the people, there's a little exhortation that he gives to the husband and the wife, and he says that. He says, he names her by her name, Ashley or whatever, submit to your husband, and then he says to the husband as well, love your wife like Christ loved the church and live in a holy fear, right? And here's the thing. If the husband if the husband is loving his wife like Christ loved the church, nga mohatag gyud siya sa iyang kaugalingon, like his whole entire life as a father, as a husband, if he is a loving man and his wife feels that, I think, I'm not a woman, I can't say this, but I think that a woman would want to submit to her husband. Who wouldn't want to, right? And so it's beautiful because, like, the thing of submission is really a question of love. It's really a question of love. it's, I mean, is the husband, first of all, like siya mo una siguro, right? He has a special role in that relationship. Usually the men are the one who ask the woman out, right? The one who make the initiative. Yeah, that's kind of the beauty of the masculine side of us, right? Which women can also have. But anyway, what I mean is that if the husband is really truly loving his wife like that, she will naturally respond with a loving response, which is to be submissive to him, not in the sense that she does everything that he wants, but to be his friend, to be his equal, actually. I mean, to be, yeah, through yeah, to be his partner. Yeah, it's amazing. I think actually the teaching of St. Paul, which is the teaching of the church, teaching of Jesus, it's so amazing. It's so beautiful because it's like, instead of making us into like independent kanang people bitaw nga ako rang gusto ani niya, kung mo submit ko ani nimo dapat blah, 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 we make all these things. It's like, hey, let's come back to what's most important in life, love. If we're loving each other, we will be submissive to each other because we trust one another, right? Because kung I trust, because we know nga katong nga tao nakigugma siya nako, then there will be naturally a good type of submission. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, maybe that's what I can say.
And then,
Yeah.
by the way, Father, you can correct me also, and I
Sure.
don't mind if you do it live.
Sure.
But there
In
are
a loving way. No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. So because I've also had, I think, stories that relate to that. No, from when I was younger, so I was in about late 20s. I had this good friend, and then magsige siya story na ako nga murag iyang girlfriend is like this, celosa, and then chu. And then I asked, "Pila na mo ka years?" And then I think his answer was about 7.
Okay.
Think ko maybe your girlfriend is looking for direction.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
And
it's
then, ningon siya, what do you mean? So, friendship man to nga conversation ko, you don't have any plans at all to propose?
good. Wow.
Yan ako. And then he said na, ano man, what's the relation daw ko na with katong possessiveness, and
Yeah.
clingy,
Yeah.
etc. And ko, I just have a hunch nga that's the issue.
Maybe it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True
could be.
enough.
Could be.
Mga months later, he proposed.
Yeah.
And then they're happily married now.
Wow,
Anya, ang joke na ko
amazing.
is, nawala ang katong imong gireklamo.
That's really
So she was just
interesting.
looking
Okay.
for affirmation. Nga natay
Okay.
padulngan ani.
Right.
It's been
right.
7 years, di ba?
Right.
And then she was just looking for an assurance that this is a long-term partnership.
Bitaw.
No?
Kanang
So I've seen mga inana nga stories or kanang mga funny
Yeah.
stories pud na mayon sila nga kanang mga chuchu pud about the wives, and then they
Yeah.
would say, just say I love you in a good way. Dili pud na kanang compliance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And di ba remember it quiets the insurgents.
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
I hear that a lot.
mean,
Also, I'm not married, but I hear that a lot.
Yeah, Aku said I'm not married. I don't know. But I think that's really true. Right? I mean, to come back even to any type of kind of mga friendships, not though, like I can think of also like relationships sa among community. Like in religious life, so I live with other, priests, other brothers like me. It's kind of, I mean, of course it's not marriage. That's a very, very special blessing of God, katong type of relationship. But at the same time, I mean, like love is really what will help us trust each other, what will build that bond between one another in a good way, in a healthy way, right? It's actually what, I mean, it all comes down to the question, unsa man gyud ang gugma, right? What is real love? Which especially for us Christians, for us Catholics, it's we see true love in Jesus, right? Like love your wife as Christ loved the church. That's where we see
That's
true love.
the bar.
Yeah, that's what we're that's why we talk about Jesus so much. Mao na nga si Jesus sige taghiskot about ni Jesus, because he's the one who shows us the way to life, the way like how we can become happy loving people is to be like him, is to go through death just like we're going to see in Holy Week, and to experience life in giving ourselves out
And
of
then,
love. Yeah.
last lang, Father, while you were also saying, naka-remember said ko, tinood pa din, it starts in the family, and then a lot of it are not taught but caught. Okay, while you were saying, naka-remember said ko, both of my parents are alpha parents.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
Very,
okay.
very strong personalities for both sides.
Really?
But there's something that
Wow.
my dad would do na I would remember pag the conversation becomes very intense because both of them are public servants.
Okay.
So when the conversation becomes intense, there's one gesture that my dad would do that kanang karon makakako, it makes me smile. Kay
Really?
pag intense na kayo, my dad would joke around sa akong mom,
Okay.
and then he would hug her.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
Magsuko-suko pa man ang mother na, "Ayaw, lagi, don't do that. No, this
Yeah,
is a serious
yeah.
conversation."
Oh.
But 100% of the time, the debate would mellow down.
That's
Every time my
amazing.
dad does that.
Really?
And it starts with, no, 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 we have to talk about this one. And then my dad would say,
Yeah. Aw.
and then after that, humana ang debate. No?
That's
So,
so beautiful.
yes, that's a gesture. And now I'm reminded no, about that. So maybe that's my dad's
Yeah.
kanang part of as Christ loves the church.
Right, right.
No?
That's really interesting. Because this is quite funny because I've been preaching, of course, mga recollections during this Lenten season, like mga recollections, and I've I'm a bit lazy this year, and I've been actually kanang sige ako balik-balik sa same nga topic, no, kanang itong recycle ba, in different. I adapt it to the crowd and everything, but what I've been talking about is that how. Okay, we look at Jesus, right, who shows us the way to love, who shows us how to love. And if you think about it, if you look at the cross, what we see is Jesus offering his body for us, right? I mean, siya ginoo man siya, so he can't die, right? He's God. But he in taking a body, right, assuming a body, he was able to experience death, right, in his humanity. And so it's really through his body that he shows his love for us. And I was thinking, kita pod, no, sa atong kinabuhi. If you think about it, all of the ways that we experience love, it's through our body. It's through making our body an offering of love, just like Jesus did. So katong experience, like you're saying, with your dad who would give his wife a hug, like that's amazing. Or even just like other experiences, right? Like someone who listens to us, we feel loved. It's because of their physical presence that's there. They smile. They make us feel validated. Someone who gives us words of affirmation. It's because they use their body, their mouth, to say things with their expression, with their nonverbal. Like it's really all about the body because we are human, we are bodily beings, and that's how Jesus showed us how to love. Yeah.
And I think, wala na kita dihan,
Yeah.
but we'll go pa with the set questions.
Yeah,
Nasa
sige,
ko na
very good.
remember, and this is also what a woman can do in that area.
Yeah.
Kaya ako mangpod, when it comes to debates, kanang especially for issues that matter to me,
Yeah.
I can be very passionate, if
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, napo ko'y ex, but I will not mention her kay married na siya.
Okay.
What she would do is, kung mao ni ang ako ang,
Good idea.
kaning this one,
Yeah.
she would just do this.
Yeah.
And kabalo na ko what it means.
Calm down.
Yes. And then dili siya
Universal
irritating.
language, yeah.
Dili siya irritating.
Really?
Kanang for me, it's like, kay di ba say when done differently, maybe kanang later na. Diba?
Yeah.
I could have just say
Yeah.
that when I
Yeah.
thought it was not done in a loving way.
Right.
But normally there's a manner that she would do that. Na murag yung kanang 100% of the time,
Yeah.
it also worked.
Wow.
So that's kwan, diba? Ana lang yun, diba?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like beyond words too. I mean, like the gesture itself, it means so much. It's like calm down, but at the same time, it's like I'm here for you. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like,
Daghan
it's
siya
gonna be
meaning.
okay. Like you don't have to win this conversation. Like so many things just in that simple gesture. Beautiful. Yeah, bitaw. Ingat kayo.
Sige, now
Yeah.
we'll go into kaning maybe we have young women who are
Yes.
watching and they're still trying to figure out their expression of value
Yeah.
in
yeah.
the world, because
Right.
today said strength is defined in very visible ways like power associated with position titles, no, CEO,
Yeah.
executive, director,
Yeah.
or status, no,
Yeah.
kanang a highly successful woman entrepreneur.
Mm.
Or public recognition,
Yeah.
which also comes with both, maybe in public office.
Yeah.
No. And then because but there are also ways that other women can also explore strength, which is not necessarily being in the spotlight.
Right.
So, what are the avenues man said that young girls who are watching, kay murag
Yeah.
ka makita ba gid nila is kanang dapat I should be like this. I should be
Right.
visible because that's what an empowered woman is.
Yes,
But
exactly. exactly.
empowerment is not necessarily being visible.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the other avenues man that
Yeah.
they can be empowered?
Great question. I mean, the thing with becoming empowered people is, I mean, we're all different as well, right? And I think, unfortunately, because we can be sometimes so polarized, bitaw, in this thing like, a strong woman looks like this. A strong independent woman. I hear this all the time, right?
Correct.
Should be like that. Should be like this. But even if you look at guys as well, we have different ways of being empowered and influential people, right? We can't like say, oh, it's because you have this position, now you're a strong independent woman, or I'm not, right? Like I'm thinking of actually in the Bible, there's a story of a woman. Her name is Judith, and she this is amazing. She was able to conquer an entire army of and the enemies of Israel, which an entire army of the people of Israel who she was part of, who were all guys, could not do. She did it alone, her by herself. Like, talk about women power. Like, wow. Talk about women being stronger than men. Wow. And you know how she did it? It's very interesting. She did it through beauty. It's interesting. She dressed herself up very beautifully. She went into the camp of the evil guys. She got in there because because she can do that. And then that's when she killed the leader of the bad guys, and then they were defeated, right? And so it's like, wow, that is an amazing power, I think, that a woman has, which we see even in the Word of God itself. And it wasn't through like, oh, I'm gonna let the guys fight. Oh, she even criticized them, huh? She was like, you guys aren't doing anything. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. So I'm going to go do this and I'm going to fight the thing. And she did. It's like, wow, that's really cool. But it was according to her own qualities, according to her own personality, according to her own gifts and frankly, genius as well. Like, bright kay siya, bitaw, nga na siya ka na nga plano nga mo ana, mauna. And it's like, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, women can be very, I have so many experiences, but bisan kabaw ka, bisan sa simbahan, powerful kaya mga babae good. I mean, of course, kami mga pari, like mga obispo, ang hierarchy sa church, ang structure sa katong visible parts sa church is made up because that's what Jesus did, right? So that's what we do as well, following Jesus. But the life of the church, I mean, oh my gosh, like powerful kaya mga women, no? Like, all of these saints, all of these amazing people. I mean, I can think of people today in the Archdiocese of Cebu, like here locally, like mga women, amazing. Like, thanks be to God. Yeah,
and thank you, Father, because I will study more about Judith. No,
it's an amazing story.
Kaya ako naibalan kang Judith kay every 15th and 30th Roman.
15th and 30th? Saan na siya?
Judith. Okay, sorry, Father.
Okay.
Kamala ka joke?
No, I don't know. I'm
it's
so sorry.
Judith.
Judith. Okay. Judith. Okay. Bitaw. Oh, I learned something new today. It's okay.
Judith, every 15th and 30th.
Oh, the story of Judith. It's really cool.
But I will study more about her. No?
Yeah, she did it all by herself. Defeated the whole army all by herself. Like, power. Ano ba? Yeah, bitaw.
Now, in the past, Father, also, many families kanang follow a certain, for the lack of better word, kanang norm, no?
Sure.
That kanang men should provide. Or men should be the hunter.
Sure.
No? But these days, there are roles naman that are agreed by husbands and wives.
Right.
No? Or men and women. Now, sometimes it's the husband also who stays at home and cares for the children. Usually, makita na ko na because I know a certain couple who has that arrangement. Usually, kung sa tanaw nilang duha, ang wife mas na stable source of income.
Sure. Yeah.
Then, it's economically practical. You continue what you're doing.
Right.
And then the husband, ako na lang take care sa atong anak.
Yeah.
What are your kanang thoughts, Mansad, in terms of people around them? And then before we go sa ilaa, people around them who actually has who frowns about it. Na ngano ang lalaki man ang nagbantay sa mga bata.
Yeah, we can be a little bit judgmental with sahay, no? Kanang, yeah, that's true. No,
and even women do that also. Nga murag nganong iyang bana man. And at the same time, ang woman sa nag-fight sa equality.
Right. Bitaw.
Kung makita ang husband na nasa balay, murag what's man yung bana?
Yeah, bitaw. Unsa man yung banang wa siya dako uswelo ana ba no bitaw. And it can be a little bit even kanang ang mga lalaki, but we can feel a little bit ashamed or something like that. Kanang mahadlok ta sa judgment bitaw sa ubang tao. Of course ang babae man sa. It's like kanang I get what you mean, the judgment.
Dato nga version ana.
Okay.
Nga naka-realize ko ba because and I also, it happened in my circle and I lovingly corrected my kanang girl friends na because makuratsan sila kung ang sigig attend sa PTA kay ang papa. Meaning ang papa ang night time. Kaya di ba usually pag mga PTA, the fathers are busy, the mothers would be there, no?
Right.
And then ang kani kay murag ang papa lagi, and sometimes they make jokes out of it.
Right,
Na
right.
murag it makes it appears to them that the guy is less of a man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Bitaw,
Okay,
bitaw.
imbis naghunting siya naman sa feeding program. Diba?
Hunting sa feeding patay.
Wala na ba?
Oh
What
my
are your
gosh.
thoughts about that? Let's start sa katong
Yeah.
people around, no?
Right, people around
When we see
judging.
that situation.
Yeah. So you know what, DJ? In a way, I can relate with sa kanya question because actually, when I was born, so natao ko dito sa New York, and at the time, my mom had a more stable job than my papa. No, so nag-decide silang duha. They were still very young. Nga akong mama magtrabaho, nya akong papa mabantay nako. Right. So for the first little bit of my life, I forget exactly how long, that was my family setup, right? And I think it's I mean, sometimes families need to do that, right? Because I mean, it's great to have the classic roles, right? But at the same time, I mean, we need to support our family. And so kung naiusa nga mas dako gyud ang sweldo nga maka-provide sa family niya, kung ang usa magtrabaho dili kaya ang family, now you have to make the decision, right? Of course. So you have to adapt, but at the same time, I think so. I mean, that's for the judging of the people right now. We need to try to understand in town, right? Because like, I mean, who knows what they're going through? Yeah, who knows what they're going through? Who knows pud nga how they feel about it? Maybe they don't want that situation. Basin.
Basin,
Maybe
oh.
they don't want it. Maybe they had some difficult conversations about it as well, and we don't know, and we don't want to make it more difficult for them as well. Yeah, bitaw. Who knows? It could be okay, but it could not be okay. So we don't judge the situation itself, but. At the same time, I think it's true nga, I mean, at ang dagan po sa atong conversation is kind of an underlying thing. It's normal nga na pud ganang natural roles sa family, right? Like just because of the way that we are. I mean, biologically speaking, psychologically speaking, like of course did he go expert, like did he go psychologist, but I know, I mean, the little bit that I know and that I can even experience sa akong life is that, I mean, guys, we're so, oh my gosh, we are so naturally more like very project oriented, very like I need to win this. There are women.
Tagbugat.
Yeah. Oh, kinda. I mean, women of course can have these qualities. It's not like it's only for men or only for women, right? Like just like guys can have qualities that we would normally equate with women, right? Compassionate, loving, that kind of thing. But at the same time, like biologically speaking, not right. And there's like some part of like the pride of the man na makaprovide siya para sa family, right? Just like in the sense nga ang woman, of course, naman siya pride would like in a certain feminine good kind of pride, right? There's also that masculine, which is a healthy pride, right? Nga I'm the guy, I can provide for my family, which is a very kanang nindot sa siyang experience para sa laki ba, right? So I think there's those two things. Like I would never judge that couple, honestly. Like ako po as a priest, like yeah, we don't know, especially if we don't know them so well, right? We don't know. But then at the same time, we can maybe understand if like lisod sila, we can also maybe be like, oh yeah, that's a bit difficult man sad. We can understand why, because it's natural man good for a guy to provide, but at the same time, yeah. Yeah.
And actually, Father, while you were also saying nag-reflect sad ko ba, na I realized some things sad, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Sure.
you can do that live, but at least this is also my way of kanang speaking on behalf of men, no?
Yeah, of course.
Kung sometimes ang women also felt like there's unnecessary pressure for them to bear a child. Di ba, murag, it's a pressure man said. That's why there's such a
Yes.
thing as a biological clock.
Yeah.
I think women also should realize nga ang sa men sad, and this is also self-imposed, no?
Yeah.
But kasagarang quarter life crisis
Yeah.
would stem with my or our ability to provide.
Oh my gosh, that's so true.
That's also
I
the
can relate to that.
pressure kung jobless niya,
100%.
28 years old. Mura
Yeah.
pa di siya babayi nga walay anak at 28 years old.
Oh my gosh, I never thought about that.
32 nga na-fire sa job.
Yeah.
This is the same pain as a 32 woman na dili ka anak.
Yeah, interesting.
Karon na po na nako na put together.
Yeah.
And these are also the same po sa kanang biological clock. It can be self-imposed.
Yeah.
It can also be what the society is also, what they think society is pressuring them.
Sure. It can, I mean, dako purang factors sa society bitaw, no? And like dako purang factors sa family upbringing. There's so many factors, but that's really interesting because I was thinking, once again, reflecting while you were talking too, we were talking earlier about love, right? And how to love like Jesus, we use our bodies to love, right? That's also, there's a specifically masculine and feminine way of doing that, wherein we give life, right? Not only in our sexuality, right? But like in even in the way that we love. Like, I mean, ang guy, the way that he loves and gives life is often through hunting, through providing, through giving food, through giving a home, through giving a safe space. And ang woman is different, right? I mean, there's I mean, she can do that, of course, as well. That's what's amazing with women. Guys can't do both. Women can, biologically speaking.
Yeah.
But
It's a good point. I did not
it's
realize
really cool.
it.
It's
Continue.
really
Yes,
cool.
continue. Yeah.
They can do both. We
Yeah.
can't, you know. So anyway, but their bodies, we can't deny that they are made to give life in that way, and by giving birth, like through that's how they love through giving life. It's really powerful. Yeah.
So karon, this is for the outside now. What about katong viewers nato, like maybe their mothers and fathers or husbands or wives who are still making that decision, which is not easy, as you say, for both of them also. What do you think are the things, Mansa, that they should talk more before they will arrive at that decision nga? Dong, ikaw na lang sa diri sa balay.
Yeah, good thing. That's a tough question because once again, like dili ko kayo expert about getting mga things, but I would say just really make sure that each one feels listened to. Each one feels nga like they understood each other's side, right? Because if you're gonna go into a difficult time for the family, or even any adjustment, oh my goodness, any adjustments at the life, no, right? Like, okay, we're gonna change, we're gonna shift things. I can think of put sa among simbahan dito, like basta na ay bagong staff member or something like that. Ganun na adjustment sa life ba. You need to talk. You need to listen. Like, okay, how is this gonna affect me? How is this going to change my everyday life? How is this going to change my work? What are my fears? What makes me excited? That kind of thing. Like to really take the time to listen to each other and not just feel like, okay, let's make the decision just based on numbers or whatever. Okay, we have to do that. So blah blah blah, and then like without really doing it together. Yeah.
I think that's a key phrase, doing it together.
Yeah, doing it together to stay a couple, to stay united. Yeah,
because they're partners.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. That's what they chose to be married for, Yeah, bitaw. Yeah.
So now, nahuman naman ta sa Papa Mama.
Okay.
Let's go to the Dodong and Inday.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
The kids.
Yes.
Sige, but this time in the context na pod about the world around them. So this is for Daniel and John Paul, no?
Okay.
The world around them, no? So because they're also kanang, especially now with social media, that kanang mga societal pressures also can be comparison.
Yes.
Can be largely comparison. Kaya kung next example is nga nung nasila ana, and then why I don't have this, or why can't they do that, and why can I not do that?
Yeah.
How can they also balance aspiring for more, which is also good, but at the same time still be grounded about who they are?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think for me, as you were asking that question, I feel like, I mean, I hope it's okay if I answer the question really with respect to our faith, but because I really feel that that's where we can see that our faith has such a big role in our lives, like it can literally change our lives, right? So okay, among a youth, makita sila sa social media nga they have nindot kayo kang compare and everything, like it's very kanang sakit bitaw siya kada bitaw nga maka-feel ta nga wala na tuman ato mga dreams no niya. I wish I could be like that, but I feel like I can't. And then we ask, we question God, like, God, why did you do this to me? Ana ba? I mean, for me, if we have faith in God, what a beautiful thing is that we know that no matter where we are, bisag asa man ta, no matter what choice in life we make or that kind of thing, I mean, we can experience his love. We have the possibility to know God, which is the goal of our life, right? So ang kana nga goal which is the main goal of our life, to know and love God, is always there. Bisag asa ta. So it gives us it really grounds us in our life. Like, okay, I'm not living my dream right now, professionally speaking, emotionally speaking, or whatever, but I am living my ultimate dream, which is to live a fulfilled life with God. Like whether I see that or not, nga yun na gyud akong murag pinakagrabe nga pangandoy sa kinabuhi. That's really what it is, right? Is to live for God. And so I like ako I've had so many conversations about this pod sa youth ministry, like I mean because I'm really involved sa mga youth, and yeah, I mean it happens to everyone. I mean it happens to let's say so many people. Very rare ang mga tao nga walay compare, and how much like if you have a good relationship with God, he shows you that like you know what, where you are right now, I know you would love to be somewhere else. And let's try very hard. It's very good to have dreams, and it's good to work hard for your dreams. Really good to work hard, especially if they're good dreams. Like especially if it's not like just a selfish dream. Like if it's a good dream, go for it. Work all you can, and God is with you. But you also know nga He's always close to you. He's always reaching His arm out to you, always telling you, yeah, you're enough the way you are right now. That mean you're enough in the situation you are right now. I'm calling you to greatness, through good actions, through being united to God. But where you are right now, you can say my life is beautiful. Yeah, I think so.
The other one is that while you're kinda expressing your thoughts about it, naka-remember na sad ko because over the weekend, hello Kyle. So
Kyle.
after the talk, so I had a talk sa Southwestern University.
Oh, cool.
And then after my talk during the break, a group of students,
Yeah.
niduol sila na ko niya. Murag, I think natubag na ko ang iyang question. So this is Kyle and friends. Hello. Natubag na ko ilang question as an entrepreneur. But I'll seize
yeah.
this moment kay
Sure.
kanang what are your thoughts about this? Kay murag kinahanglan silang I could guide them through my answer through entrepreneurship, but I think there's a deeper one which I was not and I am not an expert. So, paano ko submit ko sa mong
Sure. And I'm sure
expertise.
your answer was very good also as an entrepreneur. Like of course.
Ang
Yeah.
question nila actually is kanabitang the typical question na they want to pursue something but it's not exactly aligned to parental expectations.
Yes. Ooh.
But dili gini siya kana mga horrifying stuff. But kana lagong
Yeah.
ang parents wants them to pursue the family business,
yeah.
but the course that they have in mind
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
are not related to the family business.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
ni-submit ko gamay sa kanang expertise ni mo father because I really ask how old are you?
32.
No, not you.
Me.
Ang bata. Nakatubag na ka father.
Nakatubag na gyud. Oh, everybody.
They know already.
Sorry.
I
Okay,
really
sorry,
ask
katubag na ko.
kato sila ko pila edad ninyo.
Right.
Kaya I think ako sa ko because my answer will be
Oh.
different
Yeah.
depending
yes,
kung 40 na inyong edad
Oo.
o 16 ang
Or
inyong
kung
edad.
32.
Correct. Or 32 na. So, kanang inana nga dilemma that the youth will face ba nga kanang I wanna pursue this but
yeah.
there's also di pud pressure but pwede
Yeah.
pud kaikog.
Ooh,
Diba nga?
sa parents.
Oo
Yeah.
nga. But this is not what I wanna do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is so okay. That is so hard. I mean, first, like just to vet, like if anyone's listening and like you're going through that is so hard. Like lisod kayo. I personally am so blessed because ako mga parents, they were very supportive with my choice, right? And I think it's one of the greatest blessings that I have. I mean, that my parents were supportive. Me as an eldest son, that they were very happy that I became a priest and like dako bitaw ang agasa, no? But at the same time, wow, yeah, lisod kayo. But I think your answer's right. According to their age and everything, and I think it's also it's a difficult choice for them to make because really what they're in front of is okay. Do I want to pursue my dream job and accept the fact that this will probably put some tension between me and my parents? Like what battle do you want to fight? Do you want to, or okay, I'll just do what my parents want and maybe live with a lot of built up anger in my heart over the years, which could also be very difficult. But at the same time, you might feel a little bit better about your relationship with your family. It's really up to them to weigh it, right? Because okay, as much as the parents, we can have that pressure coming from them, right? We hope they're supportive, especially kung ang dream sa bata is like maayo siya, right? I mean, like, if they want to do a bad, like morally bad nga job, like of course the parents should come in. But if it's a question of like, asa ko makatabang sa mga tao, I mean, we hope that they're supportive, right? But yeah, it's like really where I want to choose my battle. But we're always, even in that situation, ang parents, my pressure is we're always free. But I mean, especially if we're, I would say, I mean, if you're an adult, right, in the sense that you're, I don't know, 20, something like that. I mean, you are your own person. I mean, so you can make the choice between which battle do you want to fight. And even if you choose to obey ang gisugo sa parents, you can, even in that situation, you can still be a free person because you chose it freely. Because you said, you know what, I'm gonna choose this because I don't want to go through that, and that's okay. Like you made your choice, and if it's your choice,
Own it.
like yeah, that's also, but that's, oh, it's so hard. Oh my gosh, really difficult. Yeah,
I know that's why.
yeah, it's so hard. Oh my gosh.
Now,
Yeah.
this one, Father,
Yeah.
is kwan about relationships. Okay, especially now with social media. So the young people and even older people like me,
Mm.
kanang na mga followers, na mga number of friends, like 4,000 friends, 7,000 friends,
Yeah.
etc. Pero but at least ako, I've seen Manggo the World without this one yet. But we have young people who did not see
Wala
that
sila
world.
kakita, right?
Oh, ang nakita na gid nila is the virtual number of friends
Oo,
that they
yeah.
have. What's your kanamang advice or hacks na lang for them to still nurture friends outside social media?
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So I'll come back to what we were talking about before. The way that we love is through our body. You know? And I think Najee is something, no matter what kind of culture or society or whatever we live in, the fact nga kita mga tao, we need to love with our body at a certain moment. So I mean, ang katong through social media, of course, we know nga limited. It's not like it's not there. It's like we can have friends online, right? But at the same time, limited kayo bitaw. Ang the fact nga wala tay, hugs through social media, right? I can't shake their hand. I can't drink a coffee with my friend. And so I think daring to have those encounters, like person to person encounters, I think is so important. And I think we need to see that, like, I mean, I've experienced akong youth ministry nga, like sa Nicolas Tapit, near Tabuan nga. That's what I try to provide for the youth, honestly. Like, I mean, for me, the church is a family. The church is where we come, where we meet our friends, where we have fun, where we get to know the Lord, where we get to know how loved we are, all this kind of thing. And so much of that has to happen in person, right? Like, it's the beauty of it. Like, when you can be in a small group with your friends and one of them cries and you're there for them, you pat them on the back, like, grabe siya na experience, no? Like, grabe siya. So, I mean, knowing that is still in the heart of the youth, actually, I can really say that. It's not like they don't see that. They definitely feel it because they're human, because that's who we are. That's who we are. And so knowing they not only need that, but deep down they're looking for that. They're looking for that. I think is good. And then for the youth as well, it's a challenge to overcome that fear, but at the same time, it's a beautiful thing once they dare to go. Maulaw sila at first, kanang di sila masturya na ko father, ano di ko masturya. And then after pita ka weeks or pita ka months, like sila ang pinakatabian, right? It's a beautiful transformation to see. Yeah, definitely.
And while you were saying, Father, remember lang ko, di ba na I don't know if the church supports this kanang sana 5 language of love.
Yeah.
And touch is
Yes,
one of
it's
them.
one of them, yeah.
And now na na-present ni mo siya, yeah, there are friendships online, but I think the fuller ones,
Yeah.
katong ma-address niya ang different types of giving and receiving
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
And I think virtually wala gid ang touch.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And then naka-recall sad ko, maybe also katong body, it's the facial expression. Kay
Yeah, it's
ako,
everything.
I kanabitang I have the tendency to give bad jokes. But if you do that face to face,
You can see the reaction.
and then murag cute siya, no? Compared to kanang dead air.
Yeah.
It's
yes.
like, okay, it fell flat.
Yeah. Bitaw.
Compared to you would see the expression, mo roll ba ang eyes, like, oh no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Compared to kanang
Yeah. Yeah. No, we really need that
Correct.
physical
Yeah.
connection. Yeah. For sure.
Now, this one is, kani area na po din siya, Father, mag-inhale na po. This is the area sa,
Yeah.
what's this? Oh, on kanang integrity.
Okay.
Or also known as corruption. what are your thoughts also about bitang some people, especially kanang the young, no? Kanang they would see corruption as government,
Mm,
but not necessarily looking at my own personal integrity while I am in school
mm,
or while I am at
yeah.
home.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about that, Father, also?
Yeah, I think yeah, it starts with us. It really starts with us. That's something I can see. Even in my own life, like it's a church or whatever. I mean, different forms of corruption. And it's like kind of itong we realize nga, no matter who we are, like there's always little possibilities. Kind of itong mga temptations, no nga. It's like, oh, but it's okay. Like, what if I do this? Oh, it's fine. And then like little by little, it becomes bigger. It's honestly, it's the strategy. It's the way that the devil works, right? He starts small and grows big. So like, I mean, I really think it's a question of personal. I mean, taking care of oneself, to be honest. Like, okay, if you're really taking care of your relationship with God, if you're really taking care of yourself, if you know that you're worthy of love, if you're like all these things, I think it's a bit more difficult in a certain. You have, let's say, like a bit less of a chance to get into things like that because you're like, you know what, I'm happy. And so yeah, for sure, starting with oneself. And I think it's so easy, especially in today's world, and social media, among news and everything, it's so easy to just like criticize. It's so easy to just criticize. And it's like, I think it's sad when we stay there, when it's just like, oh, but that's they're the problem. They're the problem. And oh, but me, if I do that, it's not going to change anything. Well, actually, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's a small little thing, but that's where it starts. That's where we counteract the devil. The devil starts small, but we can start small too. Yeah.
And then going back to my parents, because both of them are public servants, what you said reminded me of what my dad would say. Although I think the currency is now different, so it would be reflective of my age. But my father would say na tanang 1 million nagsugod sa piso.
Oh, yeah.
Because ang makawat sa 3 years old piso raman. Di man, the 3-year-old cannot steal a billion.
No. Right.
So it
Right.
starts with 1 peso. That's already like a million.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then 10 years old, mo graduate na nito 1,000 because that's the max.
Yeah. Yeah.
That a 10-year-old like me is capable
Would dare
of.
to. Yeah. Or even, yeah, that's true.
And
that's
then
true.
eventually it graduates. So I think kanabang murag makita lang nila ang 30 million stolen by other people, but I think it's also good to reflect ba nga kumusta ko sa akong gikawa today relative to my ability.
Yeah. And kanang, yeah.
Gi-maximize masad baka nako.
Yeah, bitaw. And kanang gikawat bitaw, like not only in money, but there's different ways of stealing.
Yeah,
like
kanang grades that does not belong to you
exactly,
or to me.
Exactly.
No?
Kana po, there's so many ways.
Or honor sa ranking, no? That does
Yes,
not
exactly.
belong to me. Kabalugid ko nga,
Exactly.
if I did this the honest way, kuan ra gyud ko salutatorian. But,
Exactly, yeah,
I
there's-
maneuvered something na valedictorian ko.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many. Oh my gosh, there's so many ways to be dishonest. And it's like if you go into one, it just starts, just growing and it's everywhere until it's too late almost. I mean, it's never too late, right? We can always change.
Although the
But
bigger it is, the
the
harder,
harder
na.
it is, but yeah, for sure.
And then kanipod is on parents and teachers who are watching. Kanang how can we also teach integrity early on para dili kay siya giant na.
Yeah.
And then ang bata ka oh my god, this is a giant already.
Yeah.
Itong dwarf pa lang.
Bitaw.
Kasi may kanang i-teach nato sa ila in school or at home.
That's a good question. I mean, so I'll speak from my experience, but some of my youth, right? Like, I mean, trying my very best to teach integrity. I work a lot with high school, college age. Yeah, so that's kind of the age now where they're growing up a little bit, discovering that they're their own person, that they can make their own decisions, but at the same time, still young, right? And for me, the way that I really do it is I don't necessarily address the question directly, like, hey, let's talk about corruption, or let's talk about this, let's talk about that. But it's more like making a space for them to become loving people. Like, I mean, so what I do, like, I have a program that I love so much that we do a couple times throughout the year. It's called Alpha. If anyone is interested in Alpha, let me know. Alpha, and it's like it's basically what it is it's getting the youth together, putting them in small groups and giving them discussion questions where they learn to listen to each other, where they learn to affirm each other and accept one another's differences as well. And what I've noticed is that, oddly enough, that environment of listening, loving, accepting is so good for bringing up leaders. They naturally become leaders when they do that. And so, I mean, like good leaders, right? Like not corrupt leaders. So I think that's a really important thing to do is to provide the space for growth, which is good. You know, giving them if they're little plants, you give them the garden, you give them the soil with the good compost, with the good light, with the good stuff. And I mean, instead of just saying, hey, you should be like that, or blah blah blah, you give them the space, and then they with others around them, and they learn to love. They learn to that's what I would say, just coming from my own experience. Yeah.
And then I'll check the time, Father. Kaya basi,
Sige.
pwede na natong
Murag
nalingaw kita, Father.
tabian man jud ta.
Before tamo close,
Okay na
Father.
pod, yeah.
No. Correct. Before tamo close, Father, and I'll touch on something na lang na kinapong, which is also real, no? Given the world that we face today. And I'm referring to how polarized and divided, no?
Sure.
Our world has become. And without going to specifics, if we go into politics, it's also divided.
Right.
And
Yeah.
strongly divided.
Yeah.
We all have our opinion. And we're
Yes.
all right.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to religion, the same.
Yeah.
And then social issues.
Yeah.
Naging mga trigger issues yun, no? That would really divide
Yeah.
us, especially now with social media.
Yes,
In
for sure.
all this, what's the church, Catholic Church role? No?
Yeah. Beautiful. I think, well, we're in Holy Week now. And one thing that we're going to be doing is watching and contemplating Jesus go through a lot of tension, go through a lot of polarization around him. And what I find so beautiful is that the one thing that is stable throughout this whole thing is the cross, meaning Jesus is love, right? Jesus was able to conquer sin, death, all of this stuff. He's able to reunite everyone in himself through that, through offering himself in love. I know it's not a trendy thing to do. It's not a trendy way to look at the world. And even the church, the visible church here on earth has often failed in a certain sense, or not. Let's say we can always do a better job, kita mga lay, mga priests, of showing that that's what's most important in life beyond our differences, right? But the reality of what God's love is that it's in accepting death. It's so weird, but it's so powerful. Like, it's in accepting death. It's through looking at death straight in the face, death in all its forms, right? Through sin, through hatred, through polarization, through ang kagubot sa atong kalibutan, mga arguments, tension, everything. It's through accepting that and saying, you know what? Love is more powerful than that. That's where we experience resurrection. That's the logic of the cross, is that you go into death. You don't pretend like, oh, it's not there. You don't pretend that, oh, I'm not gonna be involved in it or whatever. Oh, it's nothing. You don't also stay away from the cross in the sense that you just argue and, okay, you're around the cross, but you experience it. You go with Jesus. I mean, you accept that death in your life, all of your difficulties, all of your pain, all of your suffering. And if there's love in all of that, you will experience resurrection. You will. Maybe in a way you won't expect. Maybe in a way that's really strange. Maybe in a way that, you would never dream of. But that's what will happen. And so for me, I think it's so timely with all of these crazy tensions going on in our world, in our lives. We're so busy. We're so oh my gosh, everything. I'm also so busy. Honestly, I'm so tired. And I'm like, oh my goodness, Jesus, we need you. We need you so much. We need you so much. Please help us to come back to you this Holy Week. Yeah. I really hope he can be the center of my Holy Week. Yeah.
And then last two questions on your Father. So what would be your hack minsan for me, or for people like me, Kanang in terms of, given the divisions, what do you think I should do for me not to contribute to the division? Okay. Whatever I post.
Yeah.
Kaya usay murag maglisod man og kanang balance gani nga. This has to be said. But my manner of posting it, in fact, divides people even more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really hard because I'm also not very good at ako pod ka impatient man gud sa I mean like grabe man ato mga weakness. Only Jesus is really the perfect person, right? So I mean kitang tanan makasasala. So I'm working on it myself, but I would say that yeah, to not contribute to the tensions around. It's funny because I'm just thinking of so many experiences where I was the one, making the kagubot mas. I'm like, people who know me and are watching this are gonna be like, yeah, but wow, whatever you want to say. So, so, so I don't know, but I think like, okay, I'll say something. Recently, this Holy Week, I have been trying to read the Bible a bit more. I know it sounds really spiritual. It sounds like, oh, whatever, the Bible, but it is weird how much it brings peace to my heart. Like, it's weird. It's really weird. I've been reading the book of Isaiah. I take, 20 minutes or so every day. I'm very bad at reading the Bible. I'm a priest. I'm supposed to read the Bible every day. I really am very bad. This Holy Week, I was like, I'm going to do it. And so, kanang mabasa ko gamay bitaw, kanang 20 minutes, 30 minutes, even 10 minutes. And there's just something about the Word of God that puts my heart at peace. And like, I realized that when I read the Bible, I'm more patient. It just work. It's a very powerful word, no. So I mean, reading the Bible is a big one that I've experienced myself. Taking moments of silence throughout the day, like ako said, one thing I did for Lenten season is uninstall ko sa kanang Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram sa phone rack because I need it for my work. So I have it on my computer, but not on my phone. And so I have more times throughout the day that I'm a bit bored. And being bored is good sometimes because you have realizations, you have inspirations, you think of things that you normally wouldn't think about, and your heart becomes a bit calmer, I think. So yeah, let the Lord calm your heart. Do what you can to calm your heart, knowing that it's a long journey, but yeah.
Actually, Father, duha na akong homework, no? To read more about Judith.
Yeah, there
And
you
then
go.
the
Bible.
second is, you
Yeah.
made a good point. Kaya ako said, is social media is part of my job.
Yes.
So, di ko maka-deactivate. But
Right.
you made a good point. Even just a simple action of not having it for now
Yeah.
on my phone.
On the phone.
I have
It's not right there.
Honestly, I have not thought of that.
Yeah.
But that, to me, is already a step.
Yeah.
At least what's na kuyog-kuyog na ako everywhere.
Right. I mean, to be very
That's
practical, like
very
I keep
good.
Messenger, I keep WhatsApp because mga mga texts and everything that I need. But like it's actually the apps where I can scroll.
But
I
that's
took them away.
Yeah, even just for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Even just that. It's
Yeah.
already a step.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then finally, Father, before we close,
Sige.
How can we stay hopeful naman? Given all this, mo na mong last word for this episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sige, okay.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that one of the days of Holy Week, the one day that really highlights hope is Holy Saturday. Okay, so it's interesting. Kanang si Jesus, so namatay siya pag Good Friday,
Friday.
right? Yeah, Holy Saturday, the whole day he's in the tomb. And it's a very silent day. It's a very more boring kay siya nga day because it's like walay buhaton sa simbahan, walay unsa man gani, walay na misa, walay na kuwan. We're just waiting for the resurrection. And so it's really a day of hope. And usually we would say that it's especially Mama Mary, who was carrying that hope in her heart, knowing that Jesus would rise, right? Because the disciples were all I don't know what they're doing, but anyway. But it's not, so like I think this might sound weird, but I'm just thinking of the way that Jesus shows us what hope is it's like go into those areas of your heart where you have experienced death. Where you have experienced death. I know it's really hard. Ako, I hate to do it. All of whatever that means for each person watching this episode. It can mean a dream that didn't happen, a physical death of someone you love, any kind of death, right? Go there this Holy Week. Go there and go there with Jesus. Go into the tomb with Jesus and sit there with him. Don't try to avoid it. Let yourself be there. And maybe, just maybe, we hope that he'll give that little spark of the resurrection. Like I said, in ways that we might not understand, in ways that we might not even feel, ways that we might not even see. So I think that's a big thing with hope, is that hope is not just about like kanang I hope that ako mga dreams matuman, or I hope nga ako mga idea for the future will come about, but it's hoping in the fact that God will raise this dead body from the dead. I know He will. Your Our hope is in God. It's not in our own dreams for the future. I think kind of siguro. That's
I
what I'd say about
remember
hope. Yeah.
that. That
Yeah.
that that's a very profound and
Yeah.
nice way to end this
Yeah. Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
what true
hope
hope is.
that we
Yeah.
will have more.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bud, for inviting me again. Yeah.
And thank you very much, Father, because this is also timely because we spoke about women, about family, and also how we can navigate through our
Yeah.
uniqueness.
Yes. 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 Daghan ta mga topics good today. It was nice. Thank you so much.
And
Yeah.
so thank you for your time and your insights.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, on the last day of National Women's Month, we honor the women who have formed us.
Yes.
And in this Holy Week, we are invited to pause, reflect, and realign. Change does not begin out there, it begins within. So I'm DJ Moises, and this has been Beyond the Headlines. We will take a pause starting tomorrow until Friday. So we will see each other again on Monday. Have a good afternoon and have a blessed week.